Hello, who are you and where are you from?
Hello, I'm Jeff Ohstrom. I live here in Charleston, South Carolina.
All right. And what do you do?
I'm retired.
What did you do?
I
before
worked
retired?
in the defense business.
All right. And then has the climate changed? Oh, in the defense business, they're pretty aware of the climate. Has the climate changed much since you were a kid?
Yes, it has. It's definitely warmer.
Warmer summers and winters.
From my perspective, I would say more winters than summers, but
Okay.
that's just my observation.
And by the way, so in the military, was that with the Navy or any?
Well, I was in the Army for a few years, and then
Okay.
I worked in the defense aerospace industry.
All right. And so on an everyday basis, how concerned are you about it? Say on a scale of 1 to 10, do you think about it much, or are you concerned about it? 10 being the most concerned.
Let me answer it this way. I'm aware of it, and part of that is because there's like a nonstop drumbeat in the media about it. Am I concerned about it? To some extent. To me, I think is the climate changing? Yes. Does the climate always change? Yes. We've had ice ages. We've had, if you go back over millennia, the climate's changing all the time. It's never static. So, to what extent man is causing that? To me, the jury's out on that. A lot of people relate this to the, burning fossil fuels. Certainly, I'm all for anything we can reasonably do to decrease our fossil fuels. But to say that there's an absolute lock-to-lock comparison, cause and effect relationship between the burning of fossils or any other man-made thing and the climate change, I think there's a loose correlation at best. That's my opinion. There's a lot of talk about electric vehicles to reduce carbon fuel consumption, driving cars. As I said, I'm all for reducing carbon emissions if there's a reasonable way to do that. When I say reasonable, doesn't impact our standard of living or way of life. I see a lot of talk about electric vehicles. I like the concept of electric vehicles, but if you, again, this is my opinion. I can't necessarily back all this up with lock-to-lock facts. You caught me on the street, but I think there's some real problems with the electric vehicles that we have today that are based on lithium batteries. One, from a United States national security perspective, there are very few sources of lithium where we're not dependent on countries that are at best frenemies and probably adversaries, such as China, among others. Also, I think there's a real problem with lithium from an environmental perspective. Making the batteries is a bit of a dirty business. I'm hoping that can be done cleanly because there's a number of battery manufacturers that are going to be opening up here in South Carolina. So hopefully that can be done in an environmentally sound way. And if it can, great. But there's also the problem, what do you do with these lithium batteries when they've reached the end of their useful life and they need to be disposed of? That's a real problem that I don't think has been answered. So in my opinion, for electrical vehicles really to be a viable solution, and I hope they are, we need a different stored energy solution than lithium batteries. There's some talk about hydrogen. Right now that's not efficient, but hopefully Elon Musk and all the smart people that are involved in this have a plan for another stored energy solution for electric vehicles.
By the way, you're a lifelong Charleston guy. Is Charleston itself have some impact? I mean, is there more flooding or anything like that around here?
I'm not a lifelong
Okay.
Charleston. I defend a lot of people if I said that.
Okay,
We've lived here
a long time, Charleston.
I've been here about 8 years.
Okay,
So I moved here from the Northeast. As I say, I got here as quick as I could. I love it here.
and are there environmental issues here with the flooding and?
Well, there's always issues here with flooding. Here in downtown Charleston, some flooding is just a fact of life. It's how it is here. We get a hard rain in our street, which is, I walked here.
Right by the
there'll be
harbor.
water in the streets. We're right by the harbor. We're seeing what's becoming quite popular down here is people actually raising the houses down the area where I live. There's a lot of historic homes and historic that go back to the Revolution. So they've been flooded any number of times. They've been through however many hurricanes. They're still standing. Some of the ones that are really low, like right at street level, they're actually raising them. And I think some of that's being done in a really nice way. So.
And lastly, so are you optimistic or pessimistic about the future, and what do you think we do?
I'm an optimist, absolutely. And if we recognize the challenges we have in a realistic way, I'm sure we can solve them and go forward. But we need to look at the facts, all the facts, and try to find a way to tune out some of the political and social agenda hype.
Very good. Hey, thank you very much on this, the 8th of January here in Charleston. Thank you.
Been my pleasure. Enjoy your bike ride.
Thank you.